the decision to direct was because I, wanted to become a director, and so it was kind of a natural extension from writing and acting, and then the decision not to act in it was kind of multi-part. One, I didn't think I would really be up to the challenge of. I didn't think I'd be able to direct it as well if I were also acting in it, and so I wanted to try to, find someone to act in. It was not me, because I didn't think I would do a very good job, really. I didn't think I would do a very good job as an actor. I didn't think I would do a very good job as a director. It was much more important to me to do a good job as a director at that point, which is kind of where I saw the evolution of my career going. In terms of Casey, originally the script was, I always imagined the character older. It was written a little bit older. And probably my best choice as a director that I made was to imagine him younger. And as soon as I did that, for a number of reasons, story-wise, I think it was smarter. I think he had more to lose, and I think it was more interesting. And as soon as I imagined him being 30 years old, there was really only one actor that could play the part, who was Casey. And so yeah, it was definitely my first choice for a number of reasons. One, he was from the area and really understood it better than anyone else. Two, he was just by far the best actor in his age group, by far, to play the part. And three, he had the added advantage of people not really being as familiar with him as they would be with other actors. So he had the advantage of being able to surprise audiences, where other actors with whom audiences are more familiar wouldn't. So yes, he was far away my first choice, and it was really obvious that not only was I going to go to him, then I probably really needed him to make the movie in that sense. Well, for one thing, I mean, it's not really, what I meant by Casey not being well known is that he's done a lot of work where he's been good and he's really well kind of respected, particularly by actors. It's more that kind of archetypally, he's not become, he's not worn in a groove of work where you kind of know, okay, here comes Casey Affleck. He's going to go A, B, C, D, E. And so you don't really know, well, am I supposed to like him? Am I supposed to not like him? Am I supposed to, is it always going to work out for him? It affords him the opportunity to create a more complicated performance because the audience never gets comfortable. They keep having to recalibrate what they're thinking about him. Not just to clarify. I agree with the gentleman that casting Morgan Freeman, the downside of it is that, the savvy viewer does obviously can infer, well, I know Morgan Freeman is Morgan Freeman, therefore I can infer that he'll probably come back at some point, since they probably didn't hire Morgan Freeman just for these two scenes. I suspect he probably has a third scene. That's the downside. The upside is he's Morgan Freeman, and you get to have Morgan Freeman. Weighing those two alternatives, I chose to have Morgan Freeman. I didn't really think about Mystic River. I mean, Mystic River wasn't the sort of thing where you could think about Mystic River. I mean, Mystic River got made by Clint Eastwood, who's a giant, towering icon of the cinema, with Sean Penn in it, who is, if not the best actor in the world, in the top fucking 5. So it's just not the sort of thing that you can think about with many other great actors, and you can't compare yourself to Clint Eastwood. You can't be envious of Clint Eastwood. It's sort of like comparing yourself to Mount Kilimanjaro. You know what I mean? You're just a man. That's a mountain. It just is what it is. So it wasn't something that I went about worrying about. We just made our little movie, and I just concerned myself with this movie, and didn't concern myself with that movie because this was the movie that I was making, and that movie is an excellent movie that I admire and like. And I admire all those people who made that movie. And I think if you make your movie in reaction to another movie, your movie just becomes a comment on something else. Rather, I would like to continue to direct. I hope that my movie is successful enough where I can give the opportunity to. I like to continue to work with actors as gifted and talented as Casey. You know, I hope to be able to do acting roles as interesting as, you know, I got a chance to do with Hollywoodland next year. And, you know, I hope to be able to get a job.
Okay, donc oui.